Hello?
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 Who's here?
Is this the Men in Red convention?
No, but we're reviewing Men in Black. You're welcome to
Men in-
stay.
Black?
Yes, Men in Black.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your humble co-host and narrator, Mr. Darrell Coob Smith, also known as Craven Moorhead. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
How we doing, folks? We're back.
Hardly a penis. Right here, hardly a penis.
That's a nice name.
No, that's not true. This is Mr. Christopher Picard.
That's me.
And
Another fun-filled episode of the store.
This is episode
100
121.
121.
Correct.
Not too shabby.
121 it is.
Yep.
How does my Make America Great Again tie?
Yeah.
Look good?
Did you see those memes where they made the tie really long to the point that his Secret Service people walking behind him or carrying the
like
tie?
a red carpet kind
Yeah,
of,
it was kind of funny.
Well, tonight we're going to be reviewing,
as you may have guessed,
Men in Black, of course.
the reboot.
International, the reboot with Mr. Chris Helmsworth, Mr. Liam Neeson, and little Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, who's
This
really
adorability.
good. I like
Yeah.
her. She's in a lot of stuff these days.
She's in a lot of stuff, and she's very photogenic. She just has
Yes.
beautiful, exotic eyes, and she's a very lovely lady. I
She is.
really like her very much, and she's
She's talented.
very talented. She's a good actress, and she's got great chemistry. Second movie she made with Chris.
That's
they
true.
Just did,
Third.
Is it third?
Well, because she was in Thor.
Yeah.
She was also
the original
in
Thor.
No, the third one, Ragnarok.
Well, I know that one.
Yeah, but
And
then
this.
she also showed up again in the second in
Oh, and the
not Infinity War,
Avengers?
but the newest one.
the Avengers.
Yeah, Avengers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But were they together as a couple, kind of thing, or? Not
No,
quite?
but she was in the movie.
She was in the movie, so
But-
it is 3 films they've done together.
Yeah, because her character was introduced in Thor Ragnarok.
I see.
And
Very
then she
well.
came back again in
Very good.
Infinity War.
Okay.
Not Infinity War.
Now
the
listen,
newest one is Endgame.
people have mentioned, and we're going to try and
Why don't we just do it instead of prefacing it?
Okay.
We're just gonna do a good show,
We're
damn it.
just gonna go do a good.
Instead of telling them we're gonna try to do a good show.
We're gonna do a good show.
doing a good show.
We're gonna do a good show, and that's what it's all about. And that's,
Exactly.
That's the truth. And yes, I do have a bit of a gut,
Well,
and
'cause,
I'm trying to work on it. You know,
you just had a big
working
dinner.
on it. I did have a big dinner.
We both did.
We did. We went to the OG, which is the original gangster.
Yeah, your favorite.
I do enjoy the Olive Garden. I
You
don't
do.
know why. It's when I go there, I feel like family. No, I don't.
Yeah, when I worked there, I think we came in twice.
did I?
Maybe 3 times.
Maybe. No, that's true. We did have Linda tonight, who is a she's an old lady, I think.
She just doesn't give a crap.
She doesn't give a damn anymore.
No, she doesn't.
Which is really a shame.
But she's never cared.
But you know, she was quite personable tonight.
She's personable.
No, I did.
In
like
a
her
very
tonight.
abrasive kind of way, but she makes light of it.
I threw the F word out there a few times as a
She-
joke.
She appreciates that.
And she liked it.
She likes
I could
it.
tell that she
No,
laughed
she's,
a little bit.
She's not shy.
Yeah, no,
She's got a sailor's mouth. I remember her.
Does she?
She's got a
You
sailor's
can tell.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can tell right up front.
Yeah.
So I was not. I was not. You know, it's not always the one thing that I like to do is to brazenly utilize that particular word.
Yes.
But
Sometimes
I
it's
did it in a
appropriate.
comic kind of. I did it as a kind of like a Tony Soprano kind of thing. Is what I did.
Even
So-
though that was Don Corleone you just did.
Yeah, it
Not
was.
Tony
yeah,
Soprano.
Tony Soprano's more. You know, he talks like a normal guy.
Exactly.
You know, but. Don Vito Corleone right there. So, all right. So,
you wanna start?
We could just start with the show.
Let's
Is
do
there
it.
any other film banter that
Not
you'd like
really.
to bantering of other things, perhaps?
No, it's been a
There's
very
always
standard
weather
week.
banter.
Well,
You
yeah,
wanna do a little
yeah,
weather
well,
banter.
It's nice and wet.
It's quite.
I
wet.
hate the humidity. It kills me.
I'm not fond of it either. It's
No, like,
99%
it's
out there.
disgusting.
It's very.
It's my least favorite type of weather.
As my grandfather
Humidity.
used to say, you can cut this air with a butter knife.
You really can.
You can sip it with a straw. And it's quite true. It's very
It's
thick
really
and abrasive,
nasty.
and it's really quite nasty, and it weighs heavily on one's soul.
No, yeah, it gives me headaches all the time. I hate it. I hate the
Does it?
humidity.
And you
Oh,
have
yeah.
headaches as it is.
I do.
You're from a migraine family.
I am, but
Your whole family has
barometric
migraines.
pressure that we have on these kind of days doesn't help with the migraines because
Correct.
it puts pressure on all your little capillaries and all your little blah blah blahs in the brain, and it just is not.
By the way, I'm in Orlando tonight, so if you want to run down and go see me in Orlando, tonight's the night.
Okay.
Very good.
That was a bad impression.
It wasn't great.
No.
The hand gesture was all right.
Well, it's true.
By that
no,
you're doing Stevie Wonder
quite horrible.
or Ray Charles.
You know how Stevie's mother said, Stevie's mother said to him one day,
What you say?
she said, if you keep doing that in there, you're going to go blind.
And he did.
And
Now, he wasn't born blind, right?
poor Stevie. No, actually he wasn't.
He
I
was.
think we did
He
discuss
wasn't. Yeah, I
this.
think we
No,
did a
he
couple
wasn't.
weeks ago.
He
Yeah.
does have memories of
sight, that's
memories.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has memories of when he was a young man, and he does have memories of what things look like. So
And Ray Charles, very similar situation
really?
with going blind because he wasn't born blind either.
Oh, okay. It's interesting.
So going
Maybe
blind.
it's a genetic black thing. I wonder.
I don't think so. There's only 2 famous musicians that were born that eventually went blind. I can't think of too many more.
Yeah, but there's probably thousands of other people who have gone blind. Not necessarily black, but people who have gone blind.
Oh yeah, of course.
From birth, you know.
But I don't think it's determined by race in any way.
My sister just texted me the other day, and she said, "I'm watching Andrea Bocelli's 60th birthday party." So I texted her back, "If only he could."
Yeah. See, he might have been born blind. I'm not sure.
I think he may have been.
Yeah.
I know his son is fine. His son sings with him also.
Well, yeah, because I don't think that's genetic necessarily.
No,
I don't
no,
think
it's, no, of course not. But all right, well, let us begin the beginning. We're going to start here with this incredible
Let's do it.
The universe is expanding summer. Here we have the dashingly good-looking Mr. Chris Hemsworth right here.
Yeah.
This, of course, is I think the 4th film in the.
Yeah, I never saw the 3rd one.
Who was in the 3rd?
Well, that was Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, but
Oh.
they had
I like that
Josh Brolin playing the young Tommy Lee Jones.
I like that one.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one.
That was a good one.
I just never got around to seeing it.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I know.
How come? Why didn't
I
you?
don't know why. Honestly, I was a little tired of the franchise. It's not my favorite franchise. They're okay. They're by no means my favorite.
I
So I don't think I had the urgency to see the 3rd one. But I'd like to see it though.
But
'Cause I heard he did a great job playing a young Tommy Lee Jones.
He was excellent.
Josh Brolin.
He was excellent.
Yeah.
Quite true. Well, here we have, here's the lovely Miss Tessa Thompson, of course. Just saw her recently in that film with the black film with the guy on the phone. You always remember the title, I don't.
The guy on the phone?
The guy on the phone, he turns into a white marketer.
Oh, yes. Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you.
And she was
in
also
that.
in
Yeah, she was wonderful in that.
Creed 2 recently.
She was in Creed 2. Yeah, she plays the girlfriend.
Yeah, she's in Westworld. I mean, she's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, she has done quite a lot of stuff, indeed. I do enjoy her. Now let's
She's
talk
very
about this
good.
movie. Chris, did I like this film?
I'm gonna think you did.
I really didn't care for it.
See, I'm always wrong. I never
well,
guessed
I gave
it
you
right.
a little. Now I thought he was great.
Honestly, he's the best part of the
He's
film.
the best part of the movie. He plays a little tiny creature.
He's great.
and he's very good. Of course, it's just the Rocky Raccoon from.
Yeah.
It's all
comic
these-
relief.
the
There it
Comic
is.
relief,
How
which
cute.
we have from all the
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy films. It's a good thing you're here because my brain is fudged on that. But-
I mean, this movie was, in my opinion, unnecessary. We didn't need it.
oh my God!
This started out, it was originally supposed to be a Men in Black and a 21 Jump Street crossover film.
Really?
And then there was a lot of...
What, with Channing Tatum or something? Or
yeah, I think a lot of the cast was going to intertwine, yeah.
Why?
But it just never happened. It
Well, that
didn't,
made no sense at all.
It didn't make it out of development hell.
No.
And it became this kind of a generic sequel that, I don't know, paint by numbers. I don't know. It was not necessary.
as I was watching this film, and I realized that my life has become worthless. And I say that...
Don't say that about yourself.
Well, I say that in a sense where it's now gotten to the point where we just go see these silly films that are just kind of a light show. And I got very innovatively... Introspectively, I wouldn't say depressed was the word, but I just kind of felt like, this is what our world has come to. It's not even really, there wasn't much in the way of entertainment here. I mean, I started to break the film down, and I don't mean to go on one of my incredible rants, as I'm famous to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, friends, I do. But the best way to break this down is if you, I kind of reduce things sometimes to a 1950s, 1940s black and white film where there's no nonsense. It's just pure dialogue. Now, could I reduce this to that kind of a film? Just sheer an act, a 3-act play.
Instead of it being a special effects
Instead of it being a
thing.
special effects bonanza.
I know what you're saying.
Could I just turn this into, okay, here comes the femme fatale who Chris Hemsworth has a little crush on, and she's going to try and kill him, and we have all these henchmen that kind of walk in, and can I break this? I don't think I could. This is so laden.
It doesn't have enough substance.
There's no substance here. There's nothing to really drive the plot. There is really no plot at all. It's all just, it's a minor plot.
It's a
the old
MacGuffin
plot.
You got to get the weapon.
Also, the ball, the spinning ball, right out of the Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Remember the whole thing that turned into that was the main part that turned into, and I think it's right in Civil War even, where that spinning blue ball.
You're talking about the Tesseract.
Correct.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, that's the MacGuffin of the Avengers movies.
Precise.
And then the
And it's
MacGuffin
almost
becomes all the
identical.
stones.
It's almost identical to this.
Yeah, in this one it's just a little thing that becomes a gun.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
the most powerful weapon in the world,
Of course,
etc.
blah, blah, blah.
Was there even much comedy in this?
Honestly, for me, there was with Kumail Nanjiani playing the little
Yeah, he
guy.
was kinda-
His character was
he
the
was
best
kinda-
part for me.
I agree.
That's really the only thing that really made this movie entertaining for me.
There was
'Cause-
one little standout moment when Chris Hemsworth is being beaten up by the grown-up
Oh yeah, that had
blue
some
guy.
Yeah, that's some fun
but
scenes.
The thing I liked where he grabs a little tiny hammer.
It's
off
an
the
in-joke
floor.
for Thor,
Exactly.
obviously.
And he says, "Hey, now I've got you." It's a tiny little, but it's a miniature
Yeah, yeah,
replica
yeah,
of
yeah.
the Thor hammer. I thought that was
That was fun. But it had some moments,
but
overall-
but a 2-hour film,
and it was very predictable.
complete.
Like I saw the ending coming from when I saw the trailer. I knew when I saw the trailer who the bad guy was going to end up being. I knew that.
Really?
That was very easy to tell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think it was worth.
I think you can skip it. It's not great. It's
It's
okay.
beautifully made as a
well
special
done.
effects bonanza.
But
it
that's
is,
a given these days, you know.
well, not always.
But these movies usually are very well put together cinematically as a
Well, we're going to
production.
do another movie tonight that's in our repertoire. I Am Mother.
Yes.
Were the special effects particularly great in that film? I guess for the
They're okay for a low
that was
budget
more
kind of a thing.
That was more of a 2-act play.
And that was more of a
actually.
play. Yeah, that was using more
It really was.
character and story as opposed to spectacle and special effects.
Precisely. So to drive it,
exactly.
it had a little bit more girth, obviously, than something like this, which is just skin and bones
It
with
is.
a little magical light show attached.
It's a paycheck for everybody
It's
involved.
a paycheck, and we're paying that paycheck by going to
We
the
are.
theater to support
I know.
films
Well,
like this.
for us,
so.
we have the A-list, so it's like, okay, we're paying a monthly.
We're still paying, but I mean,
Yeah. But it almost feels like it's not as much of a risk because we're only paying one price per month.
I understand.
You
We're
know.
only paying a $21 fee.
Yeah.
Now it's going up to $25. But,
Yeah, it's going to go up. Yeah.
But neither here nor there. But without Tessa, Chris was good, and
Hey, I thought he was very good. The actors all did an admirable
as
job.
good as they possibly could.
Yeah, they did what they could with it, but it's
They
not.
really did.
It's not a great script. It's nothing that original, that fresh. It's a reboot to try to get kids into it, and I don't think it's going to work.
No.
Maybe it'll make its money back internationally, and maybe we'll get one
It
more.
might.
I don't think we need
It's a
another
$200
one.
film, I'm sure.
$20 million.
They're all 200 million.
I don't know if
these
it's that
days.
much.
Yeah, they're all 200 mil that day. This might be 130. But yeah, but after you're done with the
Well, marketing costs.
and distribution, and everybody
be.
takes their cut, and so anyway, I think we can move on.
Yeah, yeah, you
it
can
was
skip
nothing-
this
it's
one.
a very mediocre
It's
film.
nothing special.
Yeah, it is really nothing special. Okay.
Been there, done that,
Been
basically.
there, done that.
All right, you're going to do a quick little summary of
Shaft.
which you saw, which I did not go see.
Well, I got a special screening invitation to see
I know, I
this
didn't get that
film.
invitation.
And I have to say, I saw this film with a black audience. And there
That's
was
always the best time.
nothing better.
Yes.
It was like having a laugh track
Yeah,
on this film of a black audience.
Especially on a
It
bad
was
movie.
hilarious.
yeah.
I really liked this film. I was very, very shocked. I did not expect to like it. It was fun. It was silly.
I'll watch
it
it
was
when it gets on
serious.
video.
I mean, the young Shaft here he is over on the right. He was terrific. The worst part was it near the end when Richard Roundtree shows up and has to, he's better than the young guys. He's the old guy, but he's better than all of them. I still got it.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
In the last Shaft, where Samuel Jackson took over the role in, I think, 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
I don't
that long ago?
Yeah, it's been a while. Early 2000s.
2003, I believe.
Maybe. I don't remember if Richard Roundtree was in that one as his father.
I don't believe he was.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was where Christian Bale was the bad guy.
oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Samuel was great, though.
He's always great.
One-liners popping all the time. He was just very, very good.
He's just very reliable.
I thought he was wonderful.
He's
I
always
really
good.
enjoyed him. Kind of, in Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds.
Which they're doing a sequel now.
They should be.
Yeah.
I love that film. It's not a great. You didn't even see it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. You should see it because it's great fun.
I'll
And
watch it.
Ryan's always
I know.
hilarious, and it's like he writes his own lines half the time. But I like this film. It had a serious edge. There was an actual plot. With the young guy, one of his friends dies, and he's got to just try and seek it out. And he comes to Dad and shows him, and Dad goes in and kind of covers his ass. But he's got a great little fight scene that he does while he's drunk in a bar, which stole the show for me. It was hilarious. I really like this film a lot.
Good to
I
hear.
did not
Well,
expect to
You
like
piqued
it.
my interest.
I was very, very good. And the audience constantly laughing
That's
throughout
good.
on the laugh track was fantastic. I mean, the laugh track of my life watching
Of
this.
course.
Here's from the original Shaft, Mr.
Yeah, I
Richard
threw a couple of those shots in
Wonderful
there for
guy.
you. Yeah.
I love the fro. I love the leather jacket. I mean, the man's got it going on. Let's face it. And there's a great little scene in there where some guy says, that Shaft is a bad mother. And she just says, why don't you shut the fuck up? It was funny. I just like this movie.
Okay.
It was good. And here she is, little Miss Regina Hall over here.
Oh, yeah.
Looks very young here, but she's, she just won an Oscar for Life on Beale Street, didn't she? Wasn't that her?
No, that's
Yeah,
somebody
sure
else.
it was. No.
Regina Hall?
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody else.
No, I'm pretty sure Regina Hall. She looks much older, but that's Regina Hall, my friend. She just won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
For some reason,
I know, it looked like somebody else.
Yeah, it just looked
Especially
like
in that
somebody
picture,
else.
She looks very young. But,
Yeah. No. Regina King won the Oscar.
Oh.
Not Regina Hall.
all right, well, you stand corrected.
Regina King.
You are, I correct you.
I was the one that was calling you out. Well, I knew it wasn't
Yes,
Regina
I know.
Hall.
I know you were.
I know.
I just thought I would do that. But okay, so there you go. Jeez.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the film.
I did. It was great
I'll
fun.
definitely see it now.
Oh, well, you will see it.
Not necessarily in a theater, but
No.
all right.
Well, if
Let's
you-
move on.
Okay.
We're gonna do now the
Aftermath, there we go.
which is fresh on all the streaming platforms. You can watch this film. This was
Absolutely.
out briefly
Great
in
little cast.
theaters
Look at the
in
face
February
of
or so.
Keira Knightley here. What a lovely,
Keira Knightley.
what
we
a
have.
majestic kind of.
Yeah, I
look she
agree.
has.
She's beautiful.
She
With
really-
Alexander Skarsgård and
Very
Jason
lovely.
Clarke, it's a love triangle in a way.
It is. It's a play, more or less. It's
It
it's a
takes
little-
place in post-World War II in Germany,
Yeah.
where the British are now tasked with kind of helping to not only rebuild, the rubble after the war, but they're helping with all the displaced Germans that don't have a home anymore because of the destruction,
Yeah.
and trying to round up all the people that are part of the Nazi Party, and just trying to reconstruct. This
Don't
takes
be
place.
stupid. Be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party.
Yeah, this takes place about 5 months after.
Mm-hmm.
So, right in the beginning of the film, first scene, Keira Knightley shows up in a train. She's coming over from London.
Right.
She hasn't seen her husband, Jason Clarke, who's a British officer.
He's a cleanup man for
He's a cleanup
World War
man.
II.
So she's coming to stay with him, and they're staying. They've been given a big mansion to live in.
That was formerly the ownership home
Yeah.
of Alexander
who was a
Skarsgård.
prominent architect
Correct.
who was rumored to be part of the Nazi Party.
Right.
He claims, hey, you know what? We had a choice: join us or die. He basically we had to join the party. Was what his
Just put a
argument.
photograph in there that shouldn't have been there.
Why?
There
What
was
it?
a young man in there.
Yeah, there was a guy. That's the young guy that was on the run the whole movie with the young girl with the
Oh,
Skarsgård's
correct. Oh,
daughter.
yeah. You're right. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
here.
So anyway, as we expect,
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We should just stop this whole show and reshoot it from
the gist of the film is that Jason Clarke and Keira Knightley haven't seen each other in so long that their marriage is strained.
Right.
We learn that they lost a child
They did.
in the war, and they have not been able to really connect again.
Rekindle their romantic.
And it's awkward for
edge.
them.
So it's very awkward.
And so what happens? He's tasked with going away on a trip another part of another city
To leave Kiera alone
with him
with
because
a
they
handsome-
allow
Correct.
the former owners of the home to live in the attic, him and his daughter.
Right.
He lost his wife, and love triangle ensues.
Ensues.
You know, this movie, I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
it's
it was
not
very good.
It's not super exciting,
Hour and 43 minutes
but
long.
it's an easy watch.
It's an easy watch.
You got 3 good actors.
Great acting.
And
Beautiful
I was
shot.
just sucked in.
You know, it reminds you very
I
much of
enjoyed
that film that Brad Pitt just did.
You mean a couple years ago?
called
with the Robert Zemeckis film.
Right.
Yes, Allied.
Allied. Very
With
good.
Marion Cotillard.
Exactly.
That was good too.
Just kind of a
Yeah.
same kind of a feel.
It just has that feel.
I like the backdrop of World War II
Me too.
and the Nazi
Me too.
thing going on. I really do.
And I love Keira Knightley
Very
in period
entertaining.
pieces.
She's good, and
She's
she does a
really
lot of
good.
them.
She does.
She's
We
wonderful.
just saw her recently. We reviewed it on the show a few months back.
Yeah.
She did Colette.
I love that film.
Yeah, me too.
I really enjoyed Colette a lot.
Yeah, she's very good.
I really
think
enjoyed
she's
this.
underrated in
you
my
know,
opinion.
a lot of people. She gets a bad rap.
She
I don't
does.
know why. A lot of people complain about her teeth and say
It's not her
silly
fault.
things. Exactly.
It's
You
the
know,
water over
she's-
there.
She's British. You
They
know.
don't use fluoride over there. Well, at least they
Yes,
didn't back
you
in
know.
the day. I don't know if that's changed.
As that guy in Spinal Tap said, "I am as God made me, sir."
Exactly.
You know, and that's really the bottom
But
line.
I think she's a good actress. I think
she's dynamite.
this is a very, very watchable, enjoyable film.
Absolutely true.
I really recommend it.
Absolutely. Me
I
too.
saw critics on IMDb saying, well, this movie, it's not a great love story and it's not a really good historical film, so skip it. I'm like, honestly, I
wouldn't
enjoyed
skip
it
it.
regardless. No, I say
love
check it out.
Jason Clarkson, every other film that's made.
I know, he's
recently.
working a lot.
And Alexander's getting a great thing because of Big Little Lies, the HBO show.
Which I've never seen.
I've never seen it
Yeah.
either, but he won a Golden
He
Globe
did,
for
yeah.
it
You know,
not
I
long
looked at him
ago.
in this movie. He's kind of a weird, creepy-looking guy at certain times.
Well, you know,
He's got an odd appearance if you
he
look
was
at him.
very creepy.
He can
in
play
that,
creepy.
That Netflix film that we saw, you remember the
Hold the Dark.
Hold the Dark
With
I
Jeffrey
personally
Wright.
love
That was
film.
good. I like that film
He does play
too.
creepy well.
He does.
He was also he played one of the evil vampires in True Blood.
Well, that was his big break.
HBO series. Well,
Yeah.
he was wonderful.
Yeah.
He really was wonderful.
A couple episodes I saw of True Blood, I remember him. from
I've
that,
never
yeah.
seen him give a bad performance. He does play creepy well, and he was also in that film with oh god,
The one you love, War on Everyone.
no,
With
yes.
Michael Pena.
No. He was just in a new movie. It's a Netflix film, and it's about he's blind or he's deaf. Yeah, he's deaf. And,
I know what you're thinking about.
yeah.
It's-
Paul Rudd.
Yes.
in the film
yeah,
with
it's
him.
the mute.
Mute.
Yeah, because he was an Amish person in that movie.
Correct. God, I love
It's a futuristic film.
It is a futuristic.
Yeah, that was
film. It's a great
okay.
looking
That wasn't
movie.
bad. It wasn't
looking.
great, but I enjoyed it.
It's a great looking film.
It is. It looks
Love
beautiful.
I just love that.
They obviously were
Night
stealing from
clubby-
Blade Runner every 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Had a very dark,
It
but
did.
a night neon. Kind
Yeah.
of
No, that
scene
was
going
alright.
on. I really
It wasn't
liked that
great, but it
film.
was alright.
Yeah.
It had merit.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it was
was alright.
Oh, you liked it, but I think it was just alright.
No, I can't give my opinion. Isn't that what we do on the show? Is it an opinion show?
I thought it was just my opinion. You just go along with it.
Well, usually you do try to hijack the
No,
show.
that's not true. I'm not trying to hijack.
But anyway, I say check out.
I say check it out.
check out
too.
The Aftermath. It's definitely good.
It's a lovely film.
I enjoyed watching it.
I-
I will watch this again.
Will you?
I would.
Oh, I don't know if I will.
You know what movie I'm actually itching to watch again? I haven't seen it in years. Is Atonement with Keira
Well,
Knightley.
Atonement is a great
That's a
film.
really good
Yeah.
film.
And who's
That-
the little girl? Lily James? Is that Lily
No,
James? in that?
no. That's Saoirse Ronan
Oh, that's right.
when she's
Oh,
young.
she's
And we have
dynamite.
James McAvoy.
Yes.
And
of
that
course.
film has a really, and I've mentioned this
That
on the show
one
before.
shot,
has a tracking
I know,
shot on the
it's
beach.
amazing.
It's so good.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like an amusement park
Goes
that's
on
abandoned
forever.
on the beach in
Yep.
France. It's
Yep,
great.
yep.
But let's move on.
All right.
Really good film. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I did too.
Yeah, one of my favorites of the week.
Okay.
Now we're gonna do
Gloria Bell.
Gloria Bell, which stars the wonderful, as always, Julianne Moore.
And this was my favorite film of the
This
week.
was close. I enjoyed this
I love
a lot
this
more than I
movie.
thought I
Oh
would.
my God.
This is a very watchable film.
This movie.
She's luminous in this film.
It's just the subject matter.
Yeah.
This is really about dating in the modern day.
Yeah, she's a free spirit.
She's a free spirit.
divorcee.
But she's a divorcee, and she's and her husband was what's his name?
Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett.
That was a
from
great scene. Awkward
Raymond-
scene.
Yeah, well,
There's a dinner party they
he's
go
so, Yeah, he's great awkward.
He's always- yeah, he
wonderful
is.
awkward. But you know, I just love this movie. It was so heartfelt. You know, she just wants to be. She just
Yeah.
wants to be loved.
She just wants to find
be
love
happy.
again. Yeah.
She wants to be. I love the way she's singing in the
car,
car
yeah, I
when
agree.
she's driving all the '80s hits. and they just happen to pertain to her life as she's singing them to some extent. And then at the end,
let's not ruin too much, but
well, no, I just like the way she meets John Turturro,
and he's got a lot of
also
baggage.
Divorced,
I felt bad for him in this movie. Like he's got all this baggage with his family.
Well, most of his baggage is right here under his eyes.
Yeah,
Because,
that was a weird scene. The laugh therapy.
Oh yeah.
She's doing like laugh therapy.
Yeah,
with
that
this
was
woman.
a little bizarre.
But you know what's weird about this film? This is directed by a Chilean director.
Correct.
And his name.
He wrote it and directed it.
Yes, his name is Sebastian Lelio. He's one of the writers. But this is a remake of a film he made in 2013 in Chile
Called.
Gloria.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'll never understand
Rita Wilson.
why filmmakers from other countries come over here and remake the same movie.
Well,
where's the fun? I guess you can find fun
because
in
they
it.
feel that it's a great film, but it was underseen by
Yeah, but
the
this-
world, and
but
if
that-
they make it in English,
It'll get a wider
it'll
one. I
get a
know.
wider
But the
audience, and
original
it'll
apparently
bring
was
their-
critically lauded, and it was a big hit over
It'll
there.
bring their vision to America.
But nevertheless,
this is the girl who plays her
this
daughter.
was still good.
Yeah, I love this film.
I
I
enjoyed
just
it.
love the way the disappointment.
I got sucked into it.
A lot of disappointment that she gets, thrown with. She does these wonderful love scenes, very free and open. She's
not shy.
unclad. She's not shy.
She's
and
been
I
doing
just
that for
loved-
years.
I just loved the way she carried this film.
Yeah, I think she
did
did a
it
great
in a very, she kept herself far away from the audience. It wasn't a in-your-face performance.
Yeah.
It was very contained.
Very
and
real.
Very real and very good. And my God,
We'll probably hear about this come Oscar
I
time.
wouldn't doubt it.
assuming they don't forget about it.
yeah, I hope not. I hope they don't.
I thought he
because-
was great too.
I thought he was very
wouldn't be
good.
surprised he gets a nomination for
No, he won't.
supporting actor, maybe.
Listen, if they couldn't give a nomination to Jonathan Pryce for The Wife, then they're not gonna recognize that idiot.
Yeah.
And then Sean
Astin comes in.
Astin shows up. I thought, what the hell?
He has
is
like
he
no
doing?
lines.
I know.
That was interesting.
That was a very strange little scenario. But this is Julianne's film.
It's
all the
her
way.
film all the way.
I love this film. I just love the feel of it. That the angst, the hurt,
Yeah, I agree.
the happiness, the hurt, the happiness, the hurt. I
Here's the
just like
director
where
here.
It went. I also like the fact that once again, and we see this in films more and more and more, that we have kind of an oncoming proclamation of possible violence.
Oh,
Now,
I know what
she
you're
has
saying.
the people who live upstairs.
Yeah, they're always
the
fighting.
landlords, and they're always fighting, and we just feel, that's kind of building, and a little spoiler, the movie, it never happens, that violence.
Yeah.
And I love that. Because sometimes a film will just
Yeah.
go there, and then it will be the final chapter of the film.
And that's one of the things I was thinking about too after I watched this film was that it wasn't predictable.
No, it really
And
wasn't.
the thing you thought were going to happen didn't. And I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I you don't get enough of that these days.
Yep.
Most movies are just formula.
Formula.
And I enjoy it when I get
Very true.
surprised. And
I
this
agree.
movie was a big surprise because
It was the movie for me.
at first glance we're not, it's not a movie that sounded that exciting to me at first.
True.
But I'm like, I'll watch it because I like Julianne.
I had no idea what it was about.
Yeah, me
going into
neither.
it. I just turned it on. I
Yeah.
didn't look it up on IMDb. I wanted to just watch it fresh.
Yeah.
And I just watched it, and right away I just thought,
I know.
this is great.
Yeah.
I just loved it from the start. I love the way, at the very end of the film, she's sitting there having a drink, and the song Gloria by a lady by the
Yeah.
name of Laura Branigan, who
Great
sang
song.
this in like 80, I think
Gloria.
it actually came out in 76.
Yeah.
Well, Laura Branigan
It's a
died.
big anthem, that
died
song.
a very young death.
That's terrible.
The singer of the song.
Yes.
But I just love the way she sits there and she goes, Gloria,
Yeah.
Gloria, no, 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 and she just sings along, mouths along with the words.
Yeah, that
I
was good.
loved it. There was a wonderful scene also where she's laying in bed and she's at a kind of a morose time in relationship. John Turturro,
Yeah.
of course, it's boy lose a girl, gets girl, boy lose a girl,
Blah, blah, blah.
gets girl,
Same
blah,
stuff
back
as-
and forth,
yeah.
ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. She's laying there in bed and suddenly she hears the people upstairs fighting.
Again, yeah.
And there's like a passion there. And she does what a person might do. She breaks into tears and she just starts to cry. It was one of the most real points I've ever seen in a film,
Yeah.
where somebody was just affected by something in an inane level, and it just got her in the head. And the next thing you know, she's crying. I loved it. I started to cry myself. It moved me.
I can relate to that too because up until recently, for over a year, my neighbors upstairs were just
Oh, I recall.
all they did was every night. I'm not exaggerating.
Is it done now?
They moved out.
Oh, thank
every
God.
single night.
I remember.
Screaming matches, curse words like you've never heard. Things
I've probably
being
heard most
thrown.
of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying like at all times.
Oh, that's not good on Max,
Every-
though. Your son.
Well, no, honestly, a lot of times he's not there, or he's a really good sleeper. Thank God. That
Oh,
kid.
good.
But these people are swearing like crazy, throwing things at each other, storming out, slamming doors. But then,
No.
like clockwork, every fight, for the most part, is then followed up by very loud, passionate sex.
Interesting.
Yeah, all the time. This went on
Are they
for a
Latino
year.
or something?
No, just two white people.
Two white people.
And then they bought a house, they moved out, and I'm very happy to see that it happened.
Well, I'm glad
Because
for
I mean,
you.
they were nice to me when I'd see
Yeah,
them, but
what a
they were
drag.
like keeping us up sometimes.
I
And
believe it.
we're getting really annoyed about it.
I
But
gotcha.
I can relate to that because it's very
I
disruptive.
love this movie. This is a 3.5, nearly a 4-star
It's a
film.
very good
It's a
film.
perfect little film.
I
It's a
really don't have
perfect
any
little
negative critiques.
slice of life about a woman who
Yeah.
just wants to be loved. She
Yeah.
just, it's just that human, that striving that we all do. We just want.
I love that the scene where they're having dinner. I guess they go out. No, they go out to lunch. It's like their first official date
Right.
after they met that one night.
Oh, and he gets called.
Yeah, but they're up at that restaurant that's really high up in the building,
Mm-hmm.
and they're overlooking the city, and they're just talking and getting to know each other a little bit. And he's expressing how much that she means to him already, how much that night means to him.
Right.
She learns that he's divorced. He's got
Yeah,
these
they have
two
a one-night
daughters.
stand right at the
Yeah,
start.
and it's just nice how we see these people get to know each other, and it just felt very authentic, very real.
Truly did.
And I thought they both did an excellent job. I think Turturro's excellent in this film.
As you know, I'm not
You
a
don't
big John
see him
Turturro
much
fan.
in like the romantic leading roles.
His last film, I believe, was a Woody Allen film. I know he was in a Woody
Maybe.
film recently.
I know he's been doing some directing too.
Yeah, he's very good.
I think he's a great actor.
I like
and for
him.
those of you who like Turturro, there's an HBO miniseries from a couple of years ago you should check out. Limited series, like 6 episodes, called The Night Of. A great crime story. He's this very eccentric lawyer that's tasked with getting this kid out of a murder charge. And his character is plagued with horrible, like, foot psoriasis. And the whole movie, he's like dealing with his feet. He's wearing sandals. He's covering them with Vaseline and Saran wrap to try to keep it moisturized. And
God.
that's like a whole. You see his character. He does this job of playing this guy, this miserable guy who's got to then do this very important job. And it's just a very, very interesting little miniseries, and he's excellent in it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, so I would still check
Okay.
that out too if you like John.
Oh, there you go.
So you want to move on?
We may move on.
All right, now we're going to move on to
I Am Mother.
the next two films are both Netflix movies. This is I Am Mother. This is a very small, contained film. It's a hour and 40-minute watch, not that long, and it's basically
It's longer than that.
well, whatever.
It's
It's
an
not
hour
a long
47
one.
minutes.
Whatever. But it takes place basically like in an underground bunker in a mountain. It's where we learn right away that it's the aftermath of a massive, extinction. It's taken out most people, and we're led to believe that in this place is a kind of a safe haven for human embryos, and this robot is tasked with creating the next generation of human beings who will then populate the planet. And it's about this little girl. She's the first one, and we see her being raised until she's maybe
By this bot.
This robot.
Robot.
and then most of the film takes place when she's probably 15, 16 years old, roughly.
I would say.
We see some moments when she's younger, but that's the gist of the storyline. And it's all about this girl. This is her life. This robot is her mother.
Yes.
They refer to each other as mother and daughter. We don't get any names. Not really.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. And then at one point, it's not really a spoiler, a human shows up at
Human
the
shows
house.
up in the name of Hillary Swank.
Hillary Swank.
Does show up.
And she has some alarming news about the world outside, some truth about what's going on out there. We're not going to get into
I thought
it.
this girl was very, very good.
She's very, honestly, she looks a lot like a young Hillary Swank. Because I thought, because I didn't watch a trailer at all.
Very little.
No, I thought she looked like her. There's no
Hillary has a
resemblance.
very distinct look.
I thought what was going to happen was that as we see her growing up, eventually the grown-up version of the girl was going to be
that would have
Hillary.
been cool.
That's what I thought
That
it was
they're
going
all
to be.
the same
Yeah.
cloned embryo.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that would have been neat. But for me, I'm going to ask you a question now. Here's a little trivial question.
Yes.
This film is very much based on a very famous science fiction film. It's got just, I don't mean the essence of the embryonic stage, but the almighty eye of a robot just
Well, this was
watching everything.
Well, this paid homage to that. You're talking about Hal. in
I am,
2001.
of course.
Well, no, this is an obvious
Basically,
thing.
This was so
The director said that was what they paid homage.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I saw them interviewed briefly on something, and they had a cast up there with Kevin Smith. I think it was when they were at Sundance. This movie was a Sundance hit, apparently, and it was picked up by Netflix.
Right.
But yeah, so they did that to kind of pay homage.
Absolutely true,
Big time.
100%. I noticed it right away.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
undeniable.
how. This is how.
And we can't
How
forget
the
the
computer.
robot in this film was voiced by the wonderful Rose Byrne.
Love Rose Byrne.
She does the robot.
She does a good job.
Capable job.
You know, there's a little touch of emotion, not
a
much
lot.
at all, but I thought she was. I thought it. You know, I didn't love this movie.
No,
It's
but it was a nice little
it's
movie.
It's kind of a one act.
It is. There's
you
not
know,
a lot going
pulled
on.
into 3 acts.
Yeah.
And you know, there wasn't much to really feature. She looks like a little Elizabeth
Portman, too.
Visander or whatever.
Oh, Alicia Vikander.
Elizabeth
A little
Vikander,
bit.
a little bit there. But yeah, there's not really much here to really sink your teeth into. It took me a while to want to watch it. I had to get at least a half an hour in before I was kind of okay. I'm a little more compelled now. I just didn't feel there was enough to chew in this film.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot,
know,
but there's enough there to say, you know what, you can check it out.
I mean,
It's a 3-star at
It's
best.
a Netflix film. It's
Yeah.
easy to watch. You don't
It
have to go
is.
to the theater to watch it, and it is entertaining. I found the
Good
ending.
production design.
I thought the ending was completely ambiguous, though.
Well, again, it's one of those movies that has an ambiguous ending, which is the reason I didn't go further on a 3-star.
You know,
I hate those endings.
I hate those endings, and for that reason, I almost recommend don't
They
even. waste your
leave you
time.
kind of like, you figure out what's going on.
They leave you hanging. I
know.
mean, the movie could have gone on maybe another 5 minutes and given us a proper
Yeah,
ending,
I
but
know.
it decided to just let it be. Maybe they're gonna do "I Am Father," or or they'll do the Alan Sherman "Hello, Mother, Hello, Father, Here I am at Camp Granada.
I also think it's...
Camp is very entertaining, and I hope we have some fun if it stops raining."
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A little homage to Mr. Alan Sherman out
Yeah,
there.
one guy
May he
appreciated that.
rip in peace.
But I think a lot of times, too, it's a filmmaker's crutch to just leave things ambiguous.
Oh, I don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all
I
either.
don't like it at all.
I'm
I
not
don't
a
like
fan
it
of
at all.
that.
And we saw something recently, too, that did that
It
to
happens
us.
a lot more than I'd like, you
It
know?
really does.
But regardless, I thought the performances were good.
Yeah.
The production design was good. You could
Yeah,
tell
it
there was a
was.
modest budget. First-time filmmakers, it was a feature director. We did a good job, I thought.
Do you think that this was a person inside of this bot? Or
Well, I think there was an actor inside.
You
yeah.
do think so?
Yeah, because the actor's name is listed here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, his name is Luke Hawker. He apparently was the physical, robot.
Luke Skywalker?
No, just Hawker.
Hawker?
Luke Hawker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a throwaway film, and because
It's
of the
not
ending,
anything that's
because of the
groundbreaking.
ending just leaving you hanging, I'm gonna say
Skip it?
I'm gonna kind of say skip
I almost would agree with you, but
it.
I don't
Because
know.
it doesn't really. I mean, it was entertaining,
Yeah.
and you and me as movie buffs, we
I
enjoyed
enjoy
it.
it. I'm glad I watched it. I wouldn't watch it again, probably.
Yeah, I don't.
It
think
doesn't
so.
have a repeat value for me.
Well, maybe there is a little. Every once in a while we miss clues. And
Yeah.
I am usually a little upset with myself. Boy, this has to be a very thin person though, who climbed into this. And the robotic movement was very, very good.
It was good. Yeah, very
So,
well done.
I find it hard to believe that there was a person inside that. But
Yeah.
um,
But it also could be one of those things too. That's the outfit is probably perhaps also embellished with a little CGI afterwards.
could be.
There could have been green screen things. There could be
Very
part of it that's got the green screen covering on it
Yeah.
that they can just animate over. Could have been that. I
Very
thought that
true.
was a cool shot. That was a cool moment.
I guess
That was cool.
I suppose.
But yeah, again,
Yeah,
it's
we
not,
went nowhere with this film. We
it's
just
not a big thing.
never really. It never really happened.
Yeah.
It took a long time for something to happen.
I know.
Basically came in the guise of Hilary Swank as she comes in to just throw herself in the mix and put ideas
Mm-hmm.
into the young girl's head that, hey, there's a whole world out there. And then, of course...
30 minutes of the movie is her growing up and becoming this version.
Right.
You know?
Well, we're getting used to the mother.
Yeah, we're getting
and,
all the
her
exposition, and that's
who
fine.
She is,
I was
et
engaged
cetera.
with
Yeah,
it,
I
but
know.
again, not a lot happens.
Not a lot.
No.
Not a lot.
Should we move
And
on?
even when it does happen, it's a bit of a letdown. The outside world is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all. I hate to. No spoilers here, but it's all a big lie. So I wish they would have pursued the embryonic element.
A little
of this.
more of that, yeah,
A
I
little bit
agree.
more of maybe have one or two of them grow and you know, they could have gone the extra step, gone to the extra phase of film writing and development.
And that's a problem.
More
with
than one.
A lot of movies do that. They present this great, interesting
concept, not great.
And they, well, whatever, they present something interesting, but they don't take it to its full potential.
Yeah, exactly.
They get stuck on a side tangent.
Exactly.
You know,
what
they
happened
take
here.
the wrong fork in the road with the storyline.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, oh, you could have done this with that. That's why it's so great when you find a movie that does it right. It hits all the right notes. And it's so rare to find. But, you know, this movie has a great look. That poster was cool looking.
Yeah, it was.
It had a lot. This girl is very good. I think the main
Men
girl...
in Black. It was cool looking.
Yeah, I agree.
But was it a great film? No.
But look at that shot. That's a cool looking shot.
It is a cool little shot.
And I think the main girl has potential. I think she's going to get some more work. I think she'll have a good career.
Okay.
She's Australian, apparently. Her name was... I like saying her name. What's her name here?
Say her name.
I like saying the actor's names.
Say my name, say my name.
Clara
say
Ruggard.
My name, say my name. Yeah,
Well, let's move on
terribly sorry about
to our
that.
final film of the night.
All right.
We're going to do another Netflix film. Always Be My Maybe.
This is kind of a short show today.
And I gotta say, this was my favorite film of the week.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this movie.
Well, what you need to do is go see.
I know she's got a ton of
Ali Wong
stand-up.
has two. She has.
And she's pregnant in both of them.
Baby Cobra.
Yeah.
And the new one is hilarious.
I'm gonna watch him now. I'll be honest
kid
with you.
Not.
Before this movie, I was not aware of her.
Oh my God!
I didn't know
I've
her.
seen them both.
She's-
I watched Baby
she's
Cobra.
very good.
She's not very good. She's dynamite.
I'm gonna check him out.
Her first stand-up special. I mean, she talks about it in the second one. How
Yeah.
her life has just totally changed.
I
Now
know.
she's a millionaire.
She talked about that
because
on
of the show.
Jimmy Kimmel or one of the
Yeah.
shows I watched.
Yeah, yeah.
Where she said that the outfit she wore with the cougar dress,
Yeah.
that inspired people to do Halloween costumes.
I know.
Yeah.
She's so good.
She's very
got
good.
This look. She co-wrote the film
With him.
With him, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course. He's been in. You
He
know,
was in a lot of
this
stuff.
guy, 165.
I know. I was shocked.
165.
He's had a lot of work. And
lot
he's
of
not
work.
even. He's like
A lot of bit player.
45.
You know, bit
He's
player.
not that old.
It's a well-written film. I
It's
didn't
very
care
well
for
done.
the.
Really well done.
It's a little on the sappy side.
It is, but you know that going into it.
Yeah.
And
Who's this chick? Is
That's
this-
the director.
Oh, she is the director.
She's also the one that created the show that he's from, Fresh from the Boat,
Right,
Fresh
right,
Off the
Fresh
Boat.
Off the Boat.
With what's her name, Constance Wu, Constance Yu or Wu, that we saw in Crazy Rich Asians.
I don't know.
The two of them were in that show.
But in New
together.
York, we love Yoo-Hoo, don't we?
But the
chocolate
director,
drink.
yeah, the one we just
you know
saw.
Do you know whose company that was?
What?
Yoo-Hoo?
No, who?
The chocolate drink?
Who?
Yogi Berra.
Really?
Yeah, he came up with you. You remember Yoo-Hoo?
Yeah, I should. Yeah,
Chocolate
I know
drink,
you
yeah,
very well.
Yogi Berra's
I didn't know
drink.
that was his.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
it's just chocolate milk.
I know.
I like Keanu Reeves.
He was the
in this.
Those scenes
He
were
was
the best.
funny. He was
I had
hilarious.
forgotten that he was in it by the time that came on.
They showed the clip on one
Yeah.
of the shows of Keanu
Well,
in it. and
I
thought
knew,
it was good.
but I forgot by the time.
I like
which
the
is
way
nice.
he plays the mystery Keanu.
He's like the douche version.
He's yeah, but the douche version. But he plays it well. I
He
thought
was good.
He was terrific.
was.
You know, he's just a nice human being.
I love him. Yeah, well, he's now.
And,
everybody loves him now.
Everybody loves him,
Yeah.
and he talks about how he learned in John Wick this. And
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But it was quite hilarious.
It's a fun movie.
It is a
I
fun
really
movie.
enjoyed it.
They really have. They grow up as children together, and they're
Best
always
friends.
they're best friends. And you know exactly where this movie. There is
Yeah,
no question.
exactly.
You
But it's
will
okay.
know precisely. But the trip is the fun.
Yeah. See,
They-
romantic
getting
comedies,
there.
those kind of movies.
I love this girl too.
She was good.
That was
She
his
was-
girlfriend. You know, while she's
Yeah, while she was.
while she's
somewhere-
wooing
exactly.
Mr.
Daniel
Yu-Woo.
Day Kim. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's yeah.
But for romantic comedies, I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to
The
paint by
sappy
numbers,
element,
formula,
okay.
that kind of stuff, because you expect it. It's the ride that gets you there that's what makes these romantic comedies
Well,
fun.
I don't know.
You know, because most of the time they're gonna follow a formula. You don't see that many of this genre.
Well, when you
that's
saw a
different.
Tom Hanks Meg Ryan movie, you know exactly where they were
Exactly.
going. That they would be ending.
But
up
I enjoyed the
together.
ride.
Yeah, yeah.
But this movie
it
was
good.
to me a lot of fun.
But this was a lot of fun, only
Yeah.
because she made it so.
She
fresh.
was the best part
She
of this
was
film.
the best part
She's
of the film.
very
She's a
good.
great little actress.
She
too.
is.
But you must watch her two
Well, I'm
stand-up
going to,
specials.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Are they on Netflix?
The second one, I mean, yes, they're
Yes.
both on Netflix,
Yeah, I'm gonna check
and
them out.
they are hilarious.
Yeah.
She's so very crude, but her humor is
Yeah.
just in your face, hard, and she is a naturally funny person.
she is.
She's not just.
These guys were funny. Her
She's not
parents-
just zinging lines at you.
Yeah.
She's funny. She's
Yeah.
telling
I
stories
agree.
about, oh my God, some of the stuff she does. is so
I will
funny.
watch them. She was very good.
I've watched her second one twice now.
Okay.
It is that hilarious.
Cool. I'm gonna
It's
check
only
it
an
out.
hour long. You
Yeah,
really ought to check it
I'll
out.
definitely watch them.
She's spectacular.
It's like I said, I just learned about her.
And she produced this film. She's
She
one of the
did.
producers on the
Yeah.
film. She's just a billionaire now because of her specials on Netflix.
I don't
They
think she's a
made her-
billionaire.
Well, I use the term facetious, just completely and totally off the cuff of my.
You know, my
brain.
dad told me the other night, Father's Day, we were talking at dinner, and we were talking about. Eventually, we were talking about John Travolta, and he's like, you know, that Travolta's worth $60 million. I'm like, that's it?
Easily.
I thought he'd be worth more than that.
He should be.
Yeah, I think that's. I know
Well,
I
he
can't be right.
owns what 3 planes.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
can't imagine he's only
maybe
worth
his
60
net
million.
worth is probably.
I thought it'd be much more
Six,
than
700
that.
easily.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it's
a
gotta
couple
be.
$100 million at least.
Oh,
Right?
at least. Yeah.
But I was surprised. But anyway, I recommend Always Be My Maybe. It's a lot of fun.
I always like the fact that Rosie O'Donnell always said nobody should have more than 100 million. If you have more than 100 million, and most people who have 100 million have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Well, what are you
7,
gonna do? You could
a
spend it
billion.
all if you wanted to.
Yeah, what's his name? Beyonce and
All them,
Jay-Z. They're all
Madonna.
billionaires now.
They all are.
And it's ridiculous. Nobody should have that kind of money. I mean, there's just no point. I feel.
Well, I'm going to go further with that. What I always say is, I think there should be a cap on how much money companies and corporations can make.
Wow.
Why do we allow all these companies to make billions and billions of dollars, and then they take advantage of the loopholes like Amazon?
Well,
why should we allow that?
That loophole
That
was
whole
given
thing
to
about-
them by Mr. Donald Trump, though. I mean,
But there have been loopholes for generations.
well, there's always going to be loopholes,
But they should be allowed to take
he
advantage
knocked
of
them
it.
what from 32%.
It's absurd. It's laughable, whatever it is.
I mean, he's just making his friends money.
But my
that's all.
point is, once you hit a certain cap as a company, the rest of that money you should have to go into philanthropic things to help the betterment of mankind.
Well, I have to disagree with you in a
Why?
sense because there's too many shareholders, and most corporations are not just owned by one person.
No, I know that,
You know,
but
there's a
why?
CEO,
But why
etc.
does Apple? Why should they be allowed? Why should they need to make
Because they're
arbitrarily
a production.
$35 billion a
Yeah,
year?
but all
You
their
know what I'm
money
saying?
goes. Well, they're losing money by the
And then
way,
they're
but-
exploiting people in other countries at these factories to the point that the people that are making the cell phones are jumping off buildings because of the miserable work environment.
Yeah. Well, you know.
If you're making that kind of money, people should be paid a fair wage no matter what part of the world they're at. We shouldn't be exploiting people in other countries.
From your lips to God's ear, my son.
I know, well, I'm an idealist, whatever.
You are indeed.
But,
Well, that's
regardless,
nice. This
that's
is a
another
fun
show.
little movie. It's a fun little film.
Yeah, this is a fun movie.
It is enjoyable.
enjoyed it.
I recommend it
I do
wholeheartedly.
too.
It is on Netflix. The ending is just so
It's-
damn sappy.
it's just-
Your
yeah, but
blood
it's
sugar will rise. You may need a shot of insulin.
I love, though, the running joke about how cheap, like, her parents are and how cheap Asians are. That's kind of funny. I didn't realize that was, like, a thing in Asian communities, apparently, because
Yeah.
I saw her on Jimmy Kimmel. She, again, was talking about how cheap Asians are.
You know,
I-
I taped that episode of Jimmy Kimmel, but there had been a basketball game on, the big Raptors game.
Oh, was it preempted or
Yeah,
something?
well, no. I just went on to Jimmy Kimmel to see her.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all I wanted to see.
Cool.
Okay. And Jimmy goes, and now my next guest, Allie, cut. My hour was up.
I hate that.
And right as she's
Oh,
about to come
so you
out,
have to
I thought,
watch
"Gee,
it online."
maybe I'll get her 10, 20, a minute of this.
That
Nothing.
sucks.
As soon as he introduced her. Well, Jimmy has the longest commercial breaks on any of the late night shows. He'll have up to 9, 10-minute between guests. There's a 10-minute break there sometimes. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's got to be because of the live element. You know, there's got to be
He's not
nuts
live.
and
He's
bolts.
live on tape. So it always says, watch the very beginning of every single Jimmy Kimmel show. It's always recorded earlier. Recorded earlier.
Oh, you mean it's not? I always thought it was broadcast live.
Of course not. Of course not. No,
Oh,
no,
I
no.
always thought it was.
They all film at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Well, I
No
know
matter where
that,
they
but I
are.
thought his was still.
No, it's not live. Well, it's live.
It's tape, but-
it's live at the time, but you
Yeah,
know,
but
it's
every
not-
show is live at the time.
Exactly.
So how can he label
Jimmy
it as Jimmy
Fallon,
Kimmel Live if it's no
Steve
different than all the
Colbert.
other shows?
Correct.
That doesn't make any
It's all
sense to me.
bullshit.
I thought it was live, like
No.
live.
Recorded earlier. Watch the beginning of every Jimmy show.
Yeah, I don't understand how can you label it then as a live show.
Well, because it was
Saturday Night Live.
filmed live. That's live.
I know it is, but I mean,
Yeah.
I thought that his show was too. Then,
Yeah.
then it's no different than the Tonight Show, than Conan, than the Late Show. Then it's no different than that.
Saturday Night Live, however, is only live on the East Coast.
I know that. I know that. I know. Yeah.
Later on, the show is rebroadcast an
That's
hour.
so funny. I
an
really
hour
didn't know
earlier
that.
in Chicago,
I feel gypped.
and then 2 hours, 3 hours earlier in L.A.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Oh well.
Very good film, though.
It's very good.
And beautiful looking movie.
Yeah, it's great.
I
Very well
just
done.
Loved it. It's a
Very
nice
entertaining.
little piece of production.
Okay, so what's coming out this week, like we like to cover here, is
We do.
the big one this week is Toy Story 4. I'll probably go
No
see
Desire.
it because I love the other ones.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. They're really
I
good.
only saw the first.
Oh, they're all good.
I may have seen the second, but only because
The third is really good too.
I may have been in a coma.
Zero interest. Although now that I know that Mark Hamill does the voice, I'm
Yeah.
kind of interested. Damn it!
Yeah, he was
But
just on
I
the show.
never thought Child's Play was
I do
scary.
love,
I never thought that Chucky was scary.
I just realized another film.
This looks good, Anna. I want to
Yeah,
see
it
that.
does
Luc
look good.
Besson's new film.
Okay, well that's of course Atomic
Yeah.
Blonde Part 4.
Exactly.
Cillian
And
Murphy's
this
in it.
looks fun, but this is available on streaming platforms. It's an Australian film with Guy Pearce called Swinging Safari.
It's almost the exact same poster, by the way, as Beach Bomb.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And this,
Color font.
just because it's out, it's limited release, a documentary about Toni Morrison called The
Okay.
Pieces I Am.
All right.
I'm not going to see it, but
You're not?
I'm not going to go to the city
What,
to
you
see
racist?
it. No, I just
You
don't want to go to
racist?
the city to see a
What's the
documentary.
matter with you? You racist?
I ain't racist. I'm very against driving to the city to see a documentary.
Yeah,
Unless
sure
it's like
not.
I'm dying to see it.
And it'll be on CNN in 3
like
months
4 months,
anyway,
yeah, exactly.
so who cares?
Yeah.
By the way, they are showing Apollo 11 this Sunday night on CNN, so
Yeah.
if you did not see Apollo 11, and it does look like it was just shot recently.
It looks
so,
great. The quality is amazing.
It really is amazing.
Yeah, and we covered that a few months ago.
Yeah, but there's nothing that if you followed any of the space footage and data that has arisen within the last 15 years or so, not just the Life magazine spread, but you know it's all I've seen it all before, except a lot of the when they're actually in the control.
Well, a lot of stuff. A lot of that's
down
all,
in Houston
You haven't seen
and
that, yeah.
you haven't seen that stuff, but I didn't need to see it.
Well, what's cool is that it's a blow by blow of the entire mission.
Yeah, it's literally.
It's cool. I really thought it was well
completely-
done.
Yeah, it is well done.
Very well put together.
I really like seeing Johnny Carson and some of the opening
That was
footage.
cool.
He's in the stands watching the spaceship go up. And that's
That's
basically
it.
our show, our rather
We'll
boring
see
show,
you
I
guys
have to
next
say. A mediocre show. Their standouts, of course, Gloria Bell, Biggie, The Aftermath, also very, very good.
I agree.
I like Shaft. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you got me interested.
I don't really recommend going to the theater to see it. I'd wait till it comes out on demand.
And that'll be
It'll
out very
in 2
soon.
months. Yeah, there's not much to see, but I did love Gloria
Gloria Bell.
Oh my
That's
God.
on streaming
This is
platforms.
just
You can check it out.
You know, and if you're certainly within your 40s, 50s, whatever, and you've done the dating thing, and you're
back out there.
back out there,
Back
trying
out
to,
there.
trying to back out there. That's right. Maybe you want to back out of there because that's what poor Gloria should
Yeah.
do. But it's a wonderful movie, and of course, the bottom line of this film, and I'm not doing any spoiler for it, is love thyself.
Yeah.
You must love thyself before you can love
Yes.
anything else. And of course, most of us, including myself, hate myself.
And her character in that film really grows to really respect herself and say, you
She
know
does.
what, I'm blah blah
I'm
blah.
better than
I'm
this.
doing this.
Yeah, I really
and
love
she
this.
lives life to the way she wants.
She does, and she
And there
still
was-
goes back to the same clubs and dances
I
with
love
the old
that.
gray-haired guys,
Yeah.
and they all kind of hit on her in a very gentle, safe kind
Yeah.
of way. And there's a true element of simplistic love in this film. I just love
Yeah, I
the
agree.
love about this movie. I love the spark of human kindness that is, that generally we all have. There is a kindness element. Of course, as we all know, watching the news, there's always the bad apples of
Always.
every day. Someone's getting shot or killed, but generally people are good, and I felt that from this film, and I love
Very
this.
enjoyable. Check
I love
again,
this
check out
film.
Gloria.
I just loved it.
It's very good.
Always Be My Maybe.
Check that out, too.
Pretty good.
So I'd say Gloria Bell, The Aftermath, and Always Be My Maybe are the three
Skip
stand-up.
I Am Mother, skip Men in Black. That's
Yeah.
about it. Everything else was okay.
Pretty good. We'll see you next
So,
week with
see you
more
next
stuff.
week with more stuff, and we're gonna continue this ridiculous show that we do each week, because we know that there's at least 2 or 3 of you out there who really
And
do
we
enjoy
love
it.
that 3 of you.
And we love those 3 of you. So, and you're all invited, by the way, to come do the show with us one night.
Come on over.
If you'd like to. Yeah.
You can be in the studio audience with our
You can be in the
dogs.
studio audience. You can sit with the dogs, and there you go.
Cool.
All right, folks. We shall see you.
Take care, guys.
My love to the kids, and be nice to each other.
Adios.
Chloe, where are you?
Road? Yeah, Road. and Mr. Sandlot.